Greetings, friends. I'm Mike. I want to offer a meditation inspired by my friend Pat Browne from her amazing book, Seeing Corn Must Not Be Ground. I've particularly inspired by how she concludes one chapter on navigating life. She uses this term. It keeps coming back to with, W-I-T-H, not with, W-I-T-H, with, the sense of interconnectedness, the sense of being with all. And as you all know, I've been guiding mindfulness practices for years and years, and so inspired by breath by breath, with. And so that's how she concludes the chapter, is with, breath by breath, with, as a practice for navigating this existence. If you haven't had a chance to read this book, it's on Wild House Publishing. It's amazing. A quick synopsis as to what it's meant to me is it's helping my practice of leaning into the ambiguity of life, with that Julian of Norwich compassion, that Dorothy Day service, but being able to wrestle and grapple with the uncertainties of this existence, especially when we have this, I think, innate spiritual thirst. And we want answers, we want certainty, we want a sense of structure, almost this thinking of the divine as sending us these clear instructions. But what I think Pat's book inspires is that, no, we can live our values and the uncertainty, and that perhaps is the best way to approach it. We can lean into the mystery. We can have our mystic selves, but greet this existence with gratitude for all that there is. We can have, Pat emphasizes community, compassion, and I'm taking away this sense of unabashed compassion while leaning into the uncertainty, the unknown, but just being part of this natural existence. So I thank Pat for writing this deeply personal and wonderful story. It's really been just a joy to be part of Pat's journey, and I get to take Pat's writing class this fall, which I'm super jazzed about. So without further ado, inspired by this sense of interdependence, the sense of connection, the sense of communion, I think of this meditation as our community, in the Buddhist sense, the Sangha, and breath by breath being our life force, our energy, in the Taoist tradition of Qi. So much is captured in that sentiment of with, breath by breath, with. So I invite you to get comfortable, ease into this space, knowing that you're probably coming into this with all the thoughts, with all the things ruminating about what happened earlier today, what might be happening later. Invitation to be present. Invitation to be with each other, with our internal sense, with our community, and with all sentient beings. And then just connecting to your breath. A very gentle, loose attention on the breath. Using the breath almost like a guide, a gentle mentor. We're not overthinking it and being too focused on the breath, but just this awareness. Gentle breath as we just allow ourselves to notice. We can notice the air as it comes in through the nose, and the air coming out of the nose. And as Thich Nhat Hanh would say, that in and of itself is a miracle. Just allowing our attention to be with our breath. Inviting in presence. Inviting in a sense of non-judgment as our thoughts percolate, as they surface. Especially it seems like when we try to focus on our breath, all the thoughts want to jump around. And that's okay. Our thoughts are part of our being. They're part of this human journey. So instead of trying to push them away, just noticing them with that sense of non-judgment. They're with us on this journey. So allowing us to be with our breath, a gentle anchor point. And greeting our thoughts, our stories, our narratives with a sense of love, a sense of non-judgment. Perhaps even that unabashed compassion. Because a lot of times with this meditation practice, I think of it as grounding, connecting, being with my heart, my mind, my body, my soul. So that I can be with all. Friends, family, community, animals, plants, all sentient beings, this cosmos, the vastness of it. Allowing the breath to center me. Allowing the breath to center you. So that we can be with this existence, with our values, with equanimity. Using that sense of with, that sense of Buddhist Sangha. That with, breath by breath, with, as a practice for greeting life's uncertainty, for greeting life's suffering. And the practice can allow a little bit less examining and wondering why, but instead cultivating the how. How can I show up in this life and existence with a sense of love? And so with that, I invite you to take a few more breaths. letting go of any scripts, letting go of any perceptions of how this should feel. It's not about feeling good, or it's just about being with the thoughts, with the feelings, with the sense of presence. And so with that, I'll invite you to wrap up the practice with a sense of gratitude. You can invite your hands into heart center if that's comfortable for you. Just inviting a sense of gratitude. Someone, something, someplace. That feels like joy, that feels like gratitude, that feels like appreciation. And then you can open up your eyes, take any big stretches. Thank you all for practicing with me. If you hadn't had a chance to read Pat's book, it's super good. And yeah, borrowing Pat's humble wisdom, seeing where you can greet each moment, each day with that sense of with, and just taking it breath by breath. Sending love, friends.